Let's go to Michael in Charlotte, North Carolina. Michael, you're on the air.
Yes, good morning. I've been following the NFL with the players that are being committing assault on their wives and their girlfriends and their children. And I'm wondering, most of them are, I believe, came from the South. And I'm wondering, and they've stated in the past that they were raised the same way. I'm wondering if this is a cultural thing with these type of NFL players.
That's a really good question, Margaret. A lot of people say, look, I was whipped as a kid, and some of these NFL players, my parents whipped me, and look at me today. I'm in the NFL. There's this kind of culture that, particularly in the case of Adrian Peterson, this is just disciplining your child.
Well, and this is a parallel story, but you saw sort of on a parallel note some of this play out in the case of Michael Vick with the dog fighting earlier. In this country, everywhere in this country, there have been huge transformation of cultural norms. Spanking your children. Do you spank your children? The role of women. How do you raise your daughters versus how do you raise your sons? And these move at a different pace in different segments of society, economically, culturally, racially, demographically. Some of this is certainly at play and not something that the NFL is particularly, who would want to tackle that? It's like no employer wants to deal with, it's like, it's even like when you send your kids to school, there's the debate about shouldn't you just concentrate on math and reading versus shouldn't you talk about how to be a good citizen? When the NFL signs a player to play, they want the player to do well so their team can win so they can make money. All this other stuff is the baggage that comes with players. And now these leagues are having to deal with the baggage that their players who are human beings, who are young men, who probably in most cases come from nowhere near this sort of financial opportunity and sort of pressure and spotlight. And when you thrust them into this completely different situation, what they do.
But also if you look at what happened with the NBA and the Clippers and all of this racist, speak. I mean, I think that there's, in society, there's, an out backlash that says, listen, we're putting you up as role models and you're getting hundreds of millions of dollars to do so. Start acting like it, Jeff.
Yeah, and I think also if anything good can come from these terrible abuse accusations, allegations, and actions, it's to show what is and what is not okay. And what's his name, Adrian Peterson, who is being accused of whipping his son, said exactly what Jonathan said, that this is he was whipped as a kid. Well, that doesn't make it okay to create these bruises all over your child's body. And so the fact that is getting this kind of attention, may, to go back to what the caller asked about, may raise that issue as something that needs to be looked at more closely.
But as somebody who grew up in the South, I'm going to defend my region. I do not think that there is some kind of acceptable cultural norm on that one.